Peace and love, kings and queens. Welcome back to another episode of the Yebo podcast. I know it's been a little minute since I got one of these, but it's been a while. We was working behind the scenes. We got a little special guest today.
Very special.
Very special guest.
Very special guest, man.
Happy to be here, man.
Yes,
Happy
sir.
to be here. I'm with my brothers,
Absolutely.
John and Josh. My name is Angel Ramirez. Some call me Nene. My pops call me Lil Smooth.
Yes, sir.
But we brothers, man, and I'm really honored to be here. I've been telling them I'm trying to come on. You know, they got amazing work, so thank y'all for having me, man.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for coming, bro.
But before we get into this, how y'all been? How y'all been doing the past?
Good, bro. I'm good. I'm not gonna lie. I've been a little heavy-hearted overall. It's a lot going on, not just within the world, but just within. I think our ages. You know, this episode is elevation, so I think there's a pressure we feel to elevate. So, but I'm besides anything else, man, I'm good. Thank God I'm healthy and everything's good. How about y'all?
Yes, sir.
Man, I'm good. Like he said, elevation is the name of this episode. We're going to talk a lot of elevation. So lately, a lot of focusing on what I can do to elevate as a human being and as a man. But like you said, a lot has been going on.
Yeah.
But we're going to focus on inspiring you guys today because there's a lot of negative content out there. So yeah, I've been good overall.
My turn. I've been good too. I think, like Angel said, it's been a lot going on. But it's about balance, really. And understanding that like negative things are gonna happen, but also like you sort of have control of how you intake that negative content or negative things happening in the world. So we'll get into more of that later. But I've been good. It's about balance for me.
Man, let's talk about how we know each other.
From the top.
The origins, right?
Yeah. So we all went to school together, bro. Oh wait, basketball.
Yeah, before that.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's be honest, right? We was like 6th, 7th grade. We used to dominate Angel team consistently.
Why you bring that up?
Consistently dominate Angel team.
St. Brandon,
St. John Vianney League. And is it North Lake? Yeah, we used to.
North Lake. Yeah.
Angel used to give us buckets though, but we used to.
Angel and Brandon
Still do.
Oh wow.
No, he elevated.
Check the video out.
Angel elevated, bro.
Check the video out on that channel.
I'll second that though. Y'all had if I'm being honest, you guys, we prepared for the most. Maybe like Saint, what's the other one? There's some other killers in there, but Luke,
St. Luke, St. Mary, I think.
St. Mary's for sure. Yeah. But no, when we played Divine Infant,
that was a rivalry for sure.
Yeah, it's a rivalry, and we always knew to bring the A game too. Like we played our best. Y'all brought the best out of us, and then sometimes we played y'all without Mike. Shout out Michael Gutierrez.
Oh yeah, he was cold. He was cold.
Oh, bro,
lefty.
He's a soccer star, so he couldn't always be there. But we know each other through hoops, man. It's a great game, and, connected to me to a lot of people in my life. It's y'all as well.
Yeah,
basketball.
Sure.
Yeah. So basketball, and then we went to school together. Yeah. We all went to. We don't gotta do
high school. Went to high school together.
To Golden State. We joined forces. We started hooping together, man.
Yeah, started hooping together, and then that was a decent.
We gonna mention
the
school.
No, we ain't got a name.
Shout out to y'all if y'all watching though.
Yeah, I enjoyed my experience in high school though. It was fun. Honestly, like I think
without y'all though, it would have been different. But I did enjoy it overall because of our friend group.
The friendship definitely made it. I think that goes for like any high school experience. I feel like, but
100%.
Our friendship, I think, us three, and then like we have obviously others involved. I think our friendship made it super fun. Like
it's evident too. We still all keep in touch.
Right. It's been 6 years since high school. Man. That's crazy. But we literally still text, talk all the time.
All that.
Still hoop to this day. So
absolutely. Yeah. What kept us together was the diversity though in our group. Yeah. Like, cause that school was very predominantly white, which is totally okay. But we had our own kind of like group of just like diverse, good people. And that's really what I loved about it. It made it so much more enjoyable for me. So
and I feel like we were before us, man. I feel like we were kind of. Like, we were one of the first classes, because after us, a lot of football stars started coming through, a lot of different athletes, and I feel like we had probably one of the most diverse classes there, bro.
For sure.
Like, honestly, just I mean, I don't know. I feel like we were all dope as hell then, and we still super dope. Man.
Our class was real cool. Shout out to everyone in that class, man. Shout out to everybody.
Yeah, shout out to everybody.
I do feel like, real quick, we did, our friend group kind of did take a bunch of different avenues in terms of like what we did after high school. Like college, like we got a musician and band, we got like John doing art, I'm doing philanthropy, you're doing business.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think, like John said, I think that it did kind of like draw us together. Like we were so diverse, and so like we could like prop each other up in different ways.
We still got an athlete chasing his dreams, Troy.
Yes, sir. Shout out Troy. We had him on the pod about a year ago, last summer.
True. That was a great episode.
Yeah, spoke a lot of facts. But let's transition. Let's pivot from our younger days to now. How have you guys like individually elevated? I'm gonna answer as well. If Angel, you want to start?
Yeah, man. I mean, elevation, it comes in so many different forms. But I think for me, the biggest elevation for me was just the mental state that I'm in now. It's like what I prioritize, what I care about, you know, what I give my energy to. Like before, it's just a lot of random stuff. You know, it was more about having fun, especially after high school, in them college days. You know, that it was about having fun, and then I only thought about basketball too. I played basketball for about half my college career, and now it's more about like, it's almost like I'm preparing for like a family, bro, even though I don't have any intentions of having one still on my own, you know. But it's like I feel like I'm an adult preparing for something bigger than myself at this point in my life. But no, my mental though, before anything else, my mental has elevated crazy. I mean, you know, questioning more things that we've been taught. That's the biggest thing. Kind of trying to and reverse educate myself on certain things, because we, you know, there's a lot of within the education, you know, social structures, like different things. A lot of things we were taught that weren't necessarily right. So
for sure,
that's my biggest.
For sure,
that's my biggest thing right now.
Yeah. No, that's deep. I think I would have a similar response. I think mentally, I'm better at balancing things that I want and how I go about wanting it. I feel like throughout high school, you sort of get stuck in this like rat race of like, okay, I got to finish my homework, and then I got to finish this exam, this final, and then I graduate in 4 years. And you look up and you graduated, and you like, did I enjoy like the other parts of life that's not like this thing I'm taught to focus on?
Right.
And I feel like in college I had the chance to study abroad, and like it was my first time obviously being away from home, and I had a chance to take more time, I think, to sit back and be, like I said, I'm that's my word for the day, balance. Like be balanced. Like, okay, like my career is important, but like also I need to appreciate and take time to have fun with the process. And I do feel like I was more productive because of that.
For sure.
And my mental benefited from it. My physical benefited from it. So yeah, I think the way I've elevated the most is just understanding what balance means and how to practice that in my life.
That's good. Before I go, Angel, your skin's glowing.
Thank you, brother.
Looking good, bro.
Hey, I've been drinking a lot of water too. I'm not gonna lie.
I was gonna say, get into that.
I seen Josh with the
yes, sir.
Yeah, bro. And that's another thing, like what we learned, bro. I growing up, especially Hispanic, we eat a lot of stuff that's not good for you. But I've been learning a lot about that. Hydration is key.
For sure. Water. Mental, physical, all it's all connected.
Yeah.
Your diet, what's your eating habits like?
So actually about 2-3, I was mentioning it to y'all 2-3 weeks ago, I went on a straight high energy fruit alkaline diet. So all I did was eat blueberries, mangoes, and just drink a lot of water. And then I cheated a little. I had like grains and nuts like on Wednesday and started on Sunday. Yeah. But that's because if you go from eating, you know, like Harold's and shit like that, stuff like that, to that, it's going to be a kind of a drastic change. You're going to feel a little unhealthy, but after like the second, third day, bro, I felt great.
Yeah, I was going to say, how'd your body feel?
I felt great, bro. And like, I'm not going to lie, the day 1, 2, and a little bit of day 3, I was very tired, like extremely tired. Like, I didn't have energy. I was like, man, I don't even know if this is really worth doing. And then towards the end of the week, I'm like, I had energy, bro, and I just felt really light, really light. There was no grogginess. So a lot of times I wake up and I've got that brain fog, and it takes me, 30 minutes to get into my routine.
For sure.
And it's just wasted time. So I just felt light and sharp, and I didn't continue it, but I have sharpened my diet now. And that's what I wanted to do it for. I wanted it to be like the spark to start eating a little better. Because I'm overall healthy, bro, but what we digest really affects our mental too. That's what it was for me.
Yeah, just real quick on diets. I had a similar experience. I don't like to claim vegetarianism because people be like go like 2 days without eating meat and they'll be like, I'm vegetarian. So like I'm vegetarian, I would say like 85% of the time. So like I don't claim vegetarianism, but they like at the beginning of 2021 I started that journey, and the first month like I was getting headaches, like I couldn't even sleep, like it was weird. And then but like I do generally feel lighter. Like you said, I feel healthier in the morning. I feel like I'm ready to go at 7 a.m. easily, like with or without sleep.
Do you feel like a difference in your mood at all?
For sure. I think I like it again. Like I'm gonna keep saying balance, but I think I feel more aware during the day. Like I notice things. I'm more, I think reflective of experiences. I'm like, oh, that person's energy was good. Like if I meet a person and
you're like conscious about
I'm conscious about like that. I'm around good energy, and I think that's, to me, connected to my diet and like focusing on vegetables and really like raw fruits and veggies. Like to me, like I don't know. I know what's your you're not really a diet person. But.
No, I'm not really a diet person. No, but I've been doing personally. I do a lot of like breathing exercises and meditation by myself.
I'm trying to find some that, bro. It's hard for me to meditate on water.
Yeah. I noticed if I go too long without like doing my breathing stuff and the meditation, man, life will just like clutter your brain, and then you start making bad decisions and not making clear-headed decisions. I know that's why I want to get into the diet thing, because I know it's just gonna like elevate that so much more.
Yeah, no, absolutely. What have you always been like meditative like that?
I started that. I would say right when I transferred from College of DuPage to Columbia, because I knew if I'm gonna be going to this new school, I need to be able to relax. Because that's one thing about me. In the other schools, I kind of had a little bit like of a lot of stuff going on in my head at once. I wasn't able to focus on my school.
You were more anxious than ever.
Yeah. So I noticed when I started to breathe and slow down, I was able to kind of like focus on what needs to happen at hand. I know there's a lot of people out there that might relate to that.
I think a lot of people would.
Yeah.
What sparked it for you?
Honestly, I think it started with I stopped eating red meat in probably my freshman year of college, and so I was like really only doing chicken. And then I was like, I'm already like pretty close to like being vegetarian. Like I only do chicken. I eat mostly vegetables and fruits and like things that aren't meat. And so it was partly because I was like pretty much almost there. Another part of me is like I consistently like to challenge myself.
Yeah.
And so like I'm real competitive with myself.
Yeah.
So like I'm sitting there like I know I can be vegetarian. Like I like being pushing my body to be uncomfortable, which is why I like working out now. And like I went vegetarian because like my body felt weird, and then like but the benefits 3 months later to going vegetarian for me, or the benefits a year later to working out consistently, I've seen benefits in my real day-to-day life.
For sure.
So that's what it was. That's what it was for me.
Give me 1 second.
All right. So obviously a part of growth and growing up is you go in and out of different relationships, whether positive or negative, whether it's for better or for worse. But to you all, what does a healthy relationship look like to you? And I think we can extend that to whether it's romantic, whether it's just friendship, family. What's a healthy relationship look like to you? You can take it anywhere.
Let me go first. Man, I think for me, okay, I feel like that's specific to everyone. Everyone has different needs and wants and stuff like that. 24 years of living, I've learned that I need gentleness. Man, that's my word of the year. I think we normalize not being gentle and being aggressive and being kind of like on edge and defensive. I don't know where that's learned from. It can be learned from the music we listen to, the movies we watch, our parents, but I'm an advocate for being a more gentle human being, and that being gentle means elevating your empathy, talking to more people, like what we're doing with the podcast. We're talking to different people from different backgrounds and cultures, and I think that just elevates your empathy and can make you a more gentle person. So my number one thing is I need a woman that's gentle. Like, obviously, put me in my place if you need to.
Right.
But
we all gotta be put.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody has to be put in their place. But that's my number one thing, gentleness. I'm looking for that. So,
what about you?
I think for me, like you said, it is tailored to everybody. You know, everybody has a different need. But for me, it was really, bro, like you really had to love yourself first. And I know it kind of sounds cliche, but like it's so real, because if you're not right within, it's gonna reflect. Even if you can't tell.
Yeah.
Like the other person, especially if they're with you a lot. You know, I'm speaking. I'll go to friendship next, but I'm speaking specifically relationship with whomever you may love. You know, you had to love yourself, and you really do have to put yourself in. You know, I know later we'll be talking about a little bit about masculinity, but I feel like, especially as a man, you had to have your purpose has to come first. And I know sometimes for some women, or whatever your significant other is, that could be a hard thing to digest. Like, I'm not first. What? Nah.
For sure.
Right. And I've experienced that with different women, but like you had to put your purpose first, bro. And then the real ones, they're gonna respect that.
That's facts.
They're gonna respect that. They see that, and it's not. And people, I feel like, everybody wants to be extreme and take it out of context. Some guys might take advantage of that. I'll put my purpose first, and gives them room to act like not be as good as a lover as they should be. But
that's facts.
Your purpose got to be first, because if you fulfill that, it's the happiness is gonna come.
That's facts.
It's gonna come. Watch it.
First of all, we gotta take a minute to reflect on it. Like that, I agree. I agree. Like, because I was sort of going to a similar place, in that, I think in general, a healthy relationship with me looks like understanding that person is a separate person, and I think a part of that is like understanding your purpose first. Like you said, and I want to go more into the talking point of, like, especially with women, for us to be women, right? How have you gone about addressing your lady, your woman, about, hey, like, I like you, I love you, but like I got these things I want to take care of first with my life, especially being early 20s, mid 20s, like we are. Like mid 30s is a little different, but like when you're young and you still driven to go far, and like you may not be where you want to be in terms of career, money, whatever it may be. How do you all, or how would you all recommend guys out there, or whoever you love, or whoever they love, go about addressing that with their partner?
I don't think you can't do that with someone that's not meant for you. So it doesn't matter how nice you say it. It don't matter how many good reasons you give. If the woman doesn't genuinely love you, she's going to take that and run with it and use it in a negative way. Like, oh, you're just saying that because you want to go talk to other women, right? That's probably they'll flip it on you, right? Because they already thought of you like that. They're good at the flip. They already thought of you like that from the get-go.
For real. You make us feel good.
Right.
Right, so they already thought of you like that anyway, which is why they're using that as an excuse to kind of switch it. But if the woman is for you, I genuinely think if you say it in a very nice way, a gentle way, give her very like direct reasons and tell her directly, she's gonna be like I got you, like I understand that, you feel me, like because she understands that when she because I feel like the girl's gonna need time too. So when she needs time to take a step back from the relationship, like you need to give her the same thing. That's gonna happen. I feel like. For most times when I've heard people talk about their relationships, their marriages, they've always talked about how they didn't split up, but they took like maybe a 2-week break to kind of just grind or just do them for 2 weeks.
Literally focus on them.
Focus on them directly, because relationships can get a lot. So it ain't gonna work with the wrong person, but it will work with the right person. So
that's true. You can't force someone. It's like you said, you gotta align with them for sure. And I'll be honest, bro. I'm on the best podcast in the world right now. So
yes, sir.
Hey,
1,000% real. Like I was that person. My last relationship, I was the person who wanted you to put everything, you had to decide to be there for me.
Yeah.
Because like in my last relationship specifically, bro, and I'm in a new one right now. I'm in a new one right now, but in my last relationship specifically, bro, I was going through, especially towards the end of it. 2017 was a tough year for me. That's the year I stopped playing basketball too, and that was a part. That was a part of it. I had a slight identity crisis. Y'all know, like you know how I feel about hoops, and so when I stopped playing, I had to really like, okay, what am I going to do with my life? And there was a lot of other things that were happening in my life at the time as well, but I didn't consider my partner's mission. My previous partner was a very driven person, and I didn't consider her goals and missions. I wanted her to more so be like, check up on me, that gentleness, feel that, because there wasn't any gentleness in my life at that point. So it was like, I wanted so bad to have a person to just be like, I'm gonna ride for you no matter what. Like everybody want that rider, but it's like it was a toxic version of it. It wasn't like, because when you really love someone, bro, you're gonna understand, like, even if I'm going through something, but they might have a bigger purpose. It's not that they're not gonna be there for you, just not the way you want them to be at that time. So that's how I learned it, because it came from me. I'm not just speaking on women like, oh, y'all do be tripping sometimes, but like we do too, though.
Yeah, it goes both ways, for sure. Real quick, like going back to what both of y'all said, I think the right person really, like, if they're the right person, they won't even see it as like them being put second or third or fourth. They'll see it as like, okay, like the person I love is focused on them, and in turn, like that'll make us better as a couple. Like, like it's about like seeing that person for who they are and who they wanted to be before you and who they want to be with you. So yeah, like you won't even see it as like, okay, he's putting me second. Like you'll see it as he's thinking about us.
He's doing it. Yeah.
That's relationships and friendships. That light switched in my head when I realized that, like, people that are not for you, they're going to be ready. Like I said before, they're going to be ready to use whatever excuse they have to kind of spite you or push you away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they already had that within them. Like friends, and like, it doesn't matter. They already had it within them.
That's true.
So they were just waiting for something for you to do to use it as an excuse to spite you. So
that kind of goes back to like, you're just not really happy within it. I mean, I'm not saying we're fully happy, but like, bro. And then to the friendship too, I didn't really touch on it, but yeah, that's the same thing. The biggest thing that changed with my friendships is I honestly think being like more gentle, bro. Like I think honestly that's what it is, because as guys, like, we're very competitive. Right? We naturally have this like alpha feel, but just being gentle and like being understanding, bro. Like, that genuinely just checking in your boys, or like even just throwing a compliment. Like, don't be prideful. Like, you could just throw a compliment, a little comment, whatever, It's like that. So,
and I feel like as men, like we don't like to show emotion, and definitely don't like to like talk about your homies' emotions if you know they're going through something. But a lot of times, like we'll like. The way we'll express our love or our care is being like, let's go hoop. Let's go hop on the game real quick. That's really us saying like, bro, you good? I'm here for you. Yeah. We just don't want to say that to them.
Yeah. So that's a perfect segue into the next topic. So this is going to get deep. Is being a man a social construct?
Being a man a social construct? Well, yeah. The easy answer is yeah to me.
Yeah. Unpack that.
Go ahead. Yeah. I need some time to think about it.
It's 100% a social construct because of how we were taught, I think, to be a man. Not even just from our parents, definitely from our parents, specifically from my pops. Like, that's kind of when I go back to saying like reverse education, like trying to reverse learn those things, because although I do agree with some of that construct. Like, I do think you should be protected, ultimately. Whether you want to be the provider or you guys have, it depends with your partner. You guys have a 50-50, whatever, however y'all see that. But at some type of level, you have to provide. So I guess those parts are accurate, but also like our society's version of a man it's especially within you know, our culture, like, it's so toxic, bro.
Yep.
It's extremely toxic. I feel like it's as toxic as it's ever been. Because right now, you know, the savages get praised right now. Like, to be a savage and to, you know, not only to your homies, but to people you don't like, in forms of retaliation, to people of your own race, you know, and to your own family, to your girl. Like, everything, it's almost cool to be, you know, a rebellious and a savage now. And it's like, maybe it always been like that, but I'm only speaking for what we know today. Facts. I wasn't growing up in the 90s and the 80s. Facts. Although I feel like they probably had some of that too. Yeah. So it's kind of like a deep issue. I don't know if, like, I can't speak, like, I could speak for, like, Hispanics, you know, and, like, I can't really speak for, like, white people, so to speak. Like, I don't know how it is in that culture, like, but I know specifically for us, like, it's very macho. And it's like, but that, bro, mental health comes with that. Because if you're not like that, you feel like you're less of a person.
Yeah, for sure.
And we're not all like that.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it's definitely a social construct, and I think what makes it confusing growing up for a lot of males is being a man assumes there is a bar you can reach to becoming a man. Like, and my question to that would be, what is the bar and how do you measure that? Like, growing up, you'd be like, you might scrape your knee and you might start crying and your dad or uncle tell you to be a man. But I guess, like, to me, like, what eventually, like, is being a man getting to the age of 17, 21, is being a man doing certain, like, what is being a man? I guess that would be my question. That's how you know it's a social construct, is if you got to question how to get there, how do you achieve it, you know?
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know, that was...
Right, hold on, okay, so you're saying, like, it's almost like a measurement, but you're trying to figure out what's the measurement.
Yeah. Because it'd be like, be a man, but, like, what's be a man? Like, you know, all you can do is be yourself and, like, be the best version of yourself. And that may include being a provider or being a caretaker or cooking for the house or, like, whatever it may be. That's all you can do, to me, is, like, be the best version of yourself. But being a man is, like, I don't know, to me, that's confusing, because we all have different definitions of what being a man is. And
yeah, that's super confusing, bro. Now that we're talking about it, like, being a man. I want to say, like, well, it's having integrity, but as a woman, you should have integrity too.
That's what I'm saying.
So, like,
I have a lot to say about that, but let's get further into the discussion, then we'll reach that point.
Okay.
So, man, y'all ever had anyone say "man up" to you? Like, just man up?
For sure. Yeah. To this day.
Do you think it's harmful, or is it something that's been beneficial for you?
Personally, or in general?
Both.
Both. Yeah. Personally, it wasn't harmful for me. Okay. But everybody has different levels of being able to take criticism. Mm-hmm. Everyone takes criticism differently. Yeah. And if you more sensitive to it, doesn't make you less manly. Mm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's just
that's good.
It's just how you react to it. It's that simple. Yep. And, like, but being, like, be a man, it never affected me personally. It actually did make me man up, you know, like, quote unquote, like, I guess. But I think in general, though, I think it'd be very dangerous. There's a lot of sensitive minds out here, and, like, that's man, I guess Justin's gonna be the fucking it's so key, bro, because now, especially in 2022, we gotta be gentle with each other more than ever. And I don't like just general, like, being man.
All right, bet.
What do you think?
I think
dangerous.
I think it can be dangerous if said by the wrong person. Okay. Just like anything, like, yeah. So if it's said with good intent, I guess it can be a good thing. But if I've heard so many situations where it's like, let's say, for example, kid can't pick something up, like physically can't pick something up. Then you're like, hey, be a man, pick that up, but he literally can't pick it up. Right. Then you're kind of teaching him, okay, bet, like, I can't do this because I'm not a man. Mm-hmm.
In order to be a man, I gotta
be able to be I gotta be able to lift weights or lift this big old, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
And that can be beneficial to some, But I feel like like you said, depending on how sensitive that kid is, he can be like, well, dang, like, and that can skew his like idea of what being a man is.
Yep.
But yeah, I think it just depends on the person that's saying it and how you're saying it, and who you're saying it to. So I know there's some kids that you say be a man to, and he's just like, dang. And there's some kids that are just like, all right, bet, like, I'm gonna be a man. You know, because they see a good man in front of them. Okay, I trust this man. You know what I mean? It also has something to do with trust. If I trust the man that's telling me be a man, it's like, okay, bet, like, I'm trying to be like you. But let's say it's someone you never met him before off the street, and he's just like, be a man. I'm gonna be like,
coach. Coaches say that all the time.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't like their coaches.
That's right. A lot of people don't like their coaches.
You know.
Yeah, but if the wrong person is saying it, it's someone I don't even know you, bro, and you're talking about be a man, bro. I don't know. Yeah. It might not be as beneficial as you think it is when you say that. So.
100%.
And also, I think the phrase or any version of the phrase "be a man" or "man up," to me, it skips steps. It's like the easy way out. Like a lot of times, from a let's just use an easy example from a dad to a son. It'd be like "man up," when deep down, like he's crying for a reason, or like he's having an emotional response for a reason, and it's probably deeper than just being a man. It's probably some anxiety there because he's young, he's 6 years old, and he can't make friends, and he's crying because he can't make friends. We'll talk him through how to make friends and how to approach being strong in yourself. So like, okay, if he doesn't want to be my friend, I'm cool. Right. But if he does, then we friends. You know, like I feel like being a man is detrimental. But also, it's just like generally just a lazy sentence.
Yes, that's key.
Just skipping.
That's the easy way out.
It's the easy way out. You're skipping.
You don't want to parent.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing about being a newer generation is the fact that you can develop the evolution of the human being. No offense to the older generation, but I do think that's one of their characteristics is the easy way out. So that's why they're just so much more blunt. And that's why they think we're so sensitive, because we don't take the easy way out in terms of how we, I think, care about our emotions. Yeah. Like, of course, there's other places where we're a little lazy. But in terms of, I feel like our generation, our emotions, we take our emotions very serious.
Yeah. Mental health, definitely.
Yeah, we take our mental health very serious.
I think we're overall just more introspective.
Yeah.
For real.
Deeper, yeah. Woke culture, I think, shifted, like, our generation. That 2012, 2016 era when everyone was just like woke. Right. This is like the aftermath of everyone kind of like.
Yeah, we're starting to see it a little more. And we will see it years to come.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that's why, real quick, we don't got to get too much into this at all, but when you see something like Buffalo happen when Black people were targeted, and I think that comes from a fear of whether it's a new generation, whether it's Black, whether it's brown people, whether it's Latinx, those people getting in positions to hold power. So like, I think this generation, you'll see more bankers, you'll see more Black and brown people working at Chase Bank and working at Microsoft and Facebook and running stuff. And I think that's the fear of the majority.
It's like a shift.
It's a shift. And you see like, I think they said in 10 or 15 years, like there'll be a new majority in this country. I think it ultimately just comes from fear and laziness. We ain't got to get too much into that, but
that's deep though. That's deep.
So let's cap off the masculinity conversation with some elevation. What do you guys think healthy masculinity looks like for those that are watching?
I think healthy masculinity. Make sure I'm not squeaking. I think healthy masculinity, man, is just being okay with not being okay. Like, it's just accepting wherever you are in life, just accepting it for what it is, and trying to peel back the layer a little bit. Like, okay, if I'm just not okay right now, like how can I get there? It's like, it's not a race. Just take a breath. Everybody watching, you will get to that point. It's just we get knocked off our mission when we start letting all these outside forces, really steer the boat. But it's your boat, bro. Like, you can't. You have to believe in where you're going. And I'm gonna let y'all build on that. But there's a lot to say there.
Yeah, I was gonna the 3 key words, I'm going to use that right now. So we got elevation, balance, and
gentleness.
Elevation, balance, and gentleness together, in my opinion, creates a very healthy masculinity. Mm-hmm. So you're elevating who you are as a man, who you are as a human being, developing your purpose. You're gentle with yourself. You're gentle with others. And there's a lot of power in being a gentle human being, because a lot of people are not gentle. So being the person that is gentle, yeah, go ahead.
Quick question. So when does because there's 2 sides to it, right?
Yeah.
When is, I don't know if we could, I guess, pinpoint it, but like when is the point where we have to step in and assert ourselves?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna,
because sometimes it's hard, right? Like, because that's where you see guys overcompensating.
Yeah.
They feel like, okay, well, like they just treated me like this. Nah, I can do this.
Yeah.
When is that point? Like,
I was just gonna say, I was gonna get into being an assertive human being, and then I was gonna go into the balance, being assertive, but not too assertive to the point where you're taking up too much space. And like, to go off what you said, if someone is coming towards you with that hoopla, I think part of being a human, it's not even being a man, because women have to do this too, it's just protecting yourself, knowing how to protect yourself, having the resources to protect yourself, when necessary though, because let's be honest, sometimes it's not necessary, and you can just have a conversation with someone.
A lot of times.
Yeah. But a lot of people, they want that, like, you know what I'm saying? They want that smoke. So they're just like, I'm not going to communicate with you. Let's build this up and we're going to fight. But that's a whole different conversation for a whole different, like, because that's a cultural thing.
Yeah, that's a fact. It is a cultural thing.
Yeah, I think you said the question was healthy masculinity.
Yeah.
What does it look like? I would say, because we already pretty much identified that, like, masculinity or being a man is socially constructed, made up by another human being who came before us. I don't know if it's healthy to have any concept of masculinity because it's defined by society. I think you can have a self-definition of what being a man is. If you identify as a man, I think a healthy way of going about it is having a definition for yourself. And understanding what that means. And it may be informed by what your dad did, or like what your uncle did, or even what society tells you what being a man is, but ultimately you have the control to define it for yourself. I think that power is underrated. I think in humans, I think we give up easily. We give up our ability to create, period. And we sort of live by what society tells us to live by, as opposed to being like, okay, I have my own consciousness. I have the power to define this for myself.
You might like some of what society has to say. You could take those parts, but like you said, being creative and adding to it as well, for sure. I agree. Because
it's not like this conversation, like, it kind of sounds black and white, but it's not as black and white as like, there's no way to be a man. There are, I think, some things we can take from our uncles or our dads or like our previous generation and be like, this is how I should act as an individual. But ultimately, I think it's about defining it for yourself.
Absolutely.
So I think that's a good way to segue into the ending of the show. Angel, thank you for coming.
Appreciate you.
But we have one more question.
Come on, let's get it.
Angel is a great guy, great man. Over the years, he's become so inspirational.
Appreciate it.
I think to everybody, grinding,
always grinding.
And it's something about high school too. Yeah, something about looking to your brothers for inspiration that really gets you pushing. So I want to thank you for being just who you are.
Nah, bro. So, that means everything to me, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, bro.
And the feeling is super mutual. Like, to see y'all literally elevate into the creative you are, into the person you are, and the wealth of knowledge, bro, that you carry. Like, it's just, it's crazy, bro. Y'all dynamic is very powerful, bro. Like, and I feel special almost that I get to be exposed to it before a lot of other people are. Because I don't know how y'all feel, but like, we're still very young. These are the early stages. I don't necessarily think you guys don't come across to me as like you want everybody in the world to know about what you got going on anyway. Mm-hmm. But like for how special it is, bro, I feel like that's something that inevitably probably will happen. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, man, I saw it first.
That's big. That's big, man.
You know what I'm saying? But nah, bro, I think y'all were born 98? 98. Yeah. I think 98, especially all the people I know. For real. It's a special ass year.
Yep. 98, right?
98. Jason Tatum was 98, I think.
Jay Tatum, shout out to Steve.
Born in 1997.
Oh yeah, who you got? Real quick, who you got? The Celtics or the Warriors?
I got Golden State.
You want them to win, or you got them winning?
I called Golden State in 5. I took a heavy take with that one, but I still got Golden State.
No, it's tight. I'm a Jaylen Brown fan. I like his bag, so I got the C's.
So for those that are watching that don't have the same resources as others, can you give them some tips? Can you give them some advice to help them elevate?
Yeah. 100% can do that. There's so many things I could say to whoever may be watching this, going through it. The first thing I want to address is that you can't blame yourself for the situation that you're in. You gotta, you're in the situation. So the sooner you accept reality, because that's what I see a lot, especially within my family, my little cousins. Shout out Mozart Park, shout out Berkeley. I got the B, but I got the Mo in the back too. Shout out Malcolm for the shirt.
That's tough. Yes, sir.
Shirt code.
So it's 2 parts of the city I very much resonate with. Berkeley's a suburb, but it's one part of the city I really resonate with that all the families in. And what I see is people just constantly trying to fight reality, bro. Mm-hmm. You cannot fight with the situation you're in. You have to accept it, and I don't mean accept it as in like lay down, but like. When you accept it, you now begin to think about it differently where, okay, how am I going to navigate either through it or around it or be above it? Mm-hmm. And the elevation, again, it's kind of cliche, but it does start within. Yeah, it just is what it is. You can never find it anywhere else. It's going to start from within. Mm-hmm. And you're going to start seeing things differently. It's the people you keep around. It's the food you're eating. It's literally all that, bro. It's the content you're watching. It's the music you're listening to, and I know we all love hip hop. Yeah. It's just us, but like, it's very dangerous right now, bro. Like, it's a dangerous world. This city is only getting more dangerous, and it's like, don't be so easily influenced. You're independent. You're an individual. Like, be happy about that. Because if you were just a part of a huge group, like, what's the fun in doing what everyone else is doing anyway? Mm-hmm. So, just accept reality, man. But even if it's tough, you're gonna get through it.
Absolutely, I love that. Real quick response. I think a lot of times you think the answers come from like government, which it might, or it comes from like big money, which it might. But I think you sort of gave a personalized and individual example of how things can be improved. Yeah. I think would be helpful. So, can't just go on.
100%. Close up.
What? Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Anything else you want to cover?
Yeah, let me say something really quick, man. Like they said, it's a lot going on in this world. But just love each other, man, for real. Yeah. You started off, how'd you start? What's your intro?
Peace and love. Peace and love,
bro. And it's like, the more we sang it, I feel like the more it's just meaningless to people, but the meaning never went away. It's still peace and love, bro. Like, do your part. You can't change the world for yourself. Yeah. Just do your part. Let's simplify everything a little bit. Take a step back, take a breath. Mm-hmm. Just do your part. Be a good human. Have integrity. Move with purpose, and we're all children of God.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, my boy.
Yes, sir.
My guys, my brother. Yes, sir.
Thank y'all for tuning in. Yes, sir. Season 2. Season 3.
Season 3.
Our first guest. We're in the new studio, new set. Yeah. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe to the channel. We got more coming, more like this coming. Mm-hmm. If y'all was inspired by what was said today by John, by me, by Angel, comment below and tell us to share some reflection on our conversation. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Peace.
Love. Hey, that